What is up there? Welcome to a brand new video on 414 Anime. In today's video, we will be explaining the 4 legendary heroes and their powers from the Rising of the Shield Hero. Often enough, we will be referring to Naofumi, the Shield Hero, Motoyasu, the Spear Hero, Itsuki, the Bow Hero, and Ren, the Sword Hero, as they are the heroes we are most familiar with. This is a new type of content from me, so if we can get 1,000 likes on this video, I'll continue to do more videos going in depth on this series, and if you'd like that, then be sure to let me know in the comments what Shield Hero videos you would like to see next. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified when new Shield Hero videos go live, and of course there will be spoilers here, so you have been warned. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump straight into the video. The legendary heroes are candidates that have been chosen from other worlds in order to take on the title of hero and protect this world from the incoming waves of calamity. Said heroes claim the title of the weapon that they have been chosen to wield, and also goes by titles such as legendary heroes, the cardinal heroes, and also the holy heroes, as many religions and regions are formed around the existence of these legendary weapons. These weapons are in fact spirits or entities that come from other worlds, in fact their own respective world. This explains how Naofumi, Motoyasu, Ren, and Itsuki all have separate truths about the world they come from, but are from parallel worlds to another, though they all share the traits of 1 being Japanese and 2 being an otaku. How these worlds tied together and how this all came to be was the waves of calamity. They have fused them all together, creating the world we are familiar with in the series. Now, firstly, the world of the shield and the bow were fused. After that, the worlds of the spear and the sword, before eventually all 4 worlds were fused together as one. Though, as we know from meeting Glass, Lark, and Therese, there are other worlds and weapons that have also undergone the same fate. There is someone behind the scenes that is responsible for this, someone who wants to destroy these individual worlds by fusing them with the waves of calamity, and it's up to the weapons and their wielders to take this foe down. The hero candidates entrusted with wielding these all-powerful weapons, defeating the waves, and saving the worlds are given a choice of 3 rewards. The first is that they will be able to return to their original world, not forgetting of course that they were forcibly summoned here and thrown into this war. So as compensation, they are granted 3 wishes that the weapon spirits will grant them in their own worlds. Now, they also have the possibility of bringing others back with them. Remember, Raphtalia had asked Naofumi if he was to return to his world if she could accompany him. The second reward would be not to return to their original world, but to remain in this one and live out the rest of their lives worshipped as great heroes. This reward was actually chosen by many past heroes. Finally, the third reward, they can return to their original world, but instead of being granted 3 wishes, they would have the right to come back to this world again. So each of these rewards are very tempting, and I think I would actually struggle with my choice, but it would certainly motivate me to undergo this task I had been thrown into. What reward would you choose? Let me know in the comments. I'm super interested to read your reasonings behind your choice. Okay, let's talk about the summoning and selection process of the heroes. These weapons choose their master through forceful summons, or they are selected candidates amongst the locals of that world. It is important to mention here that the spirit weapons don't always manage to summon their first choice candidate. The spirit of the shield is actually well known to always successfully summon its first choice wielder, whereas the sword, bow, and spear often struggle. This part here is crucial in understanding why Naofumi is so different from the other 3 heroes. So the sword, the spear, and the bow's weapon's first choice hero tends to die upon summoning, or quickly after that. Due to the failed summon attempt, the backup candidate is someone who has a serious character issue. Not only that, but this new candidate is rewarded by being given a second chance at life. Yes, the backup candidate is brought to this world upon their death. Motoyasu, of course, was a bit of a player in his previous life and was often dating multiple girls at once until he eventually picked the wrong girl, or girls I guess you can say. I will go into this in much more detail in another video, but I also covered this in my fact video for him, so you can check that out there. Anyway, long story short, Motoyasu was stabbed by 2 girls out of jealousy or fear that he was seeing other girls and died of blood loss. Ren was caught up in a murder case in which he remembers saving his best friend and how the criminal criminal was arrested. However, what he didn't remember was that in saving his friend, it was Ren himself that was murdered. Finally, Itsuki, he was given the classic isekai treatment, in which he was hit and killed by a speeding truck. Had to happen, right? Obviously, Naofumi, being a first candidate, didn't come to this world from death. He was summoned via ritual. Now, these rituals are each different in the individual worlds, as determined by the spirit weapons. And we know that Naofumi was forcibly summoned here from the book, the record of the 4 holy weapons that he had found in the library. The question is, what happens if one of these heroes die in the new world? Well, the owner ceases ownership of the weapon, and the weapon itself simply disappears to its own world in wait for a new candidate in which to be summoned with. A new hero can be resummoned, but only if the current set of waves have been completed, or if the weapon is completely obliterated. Worth mentioning as well that if one of the weapons becomes missing in this world, the waves are said to grow in strength. Moving on to the abilities of the heroes, or the weapons I guess you could say. Each weapon possesses a gem at their core. This gem is what gives these weapons functionality in terms of its transformations and to activate abilities. Each of these weapons are upgraded through adventuring, and each have their own power systems which make them very powerful and very unique items. There are different methods in which the weapon can be strengthened, but will only work if the user truly believes that that method exists. Now, they have the ability to absorb loot items, which will unlock different variations or transformations of that legendary weapon. The wielder of the legendary weapon has additional SP energy that non-heroes do not have access to. SP is of course separate from that of mana points and life energy, as it allows the user to use the skills that are unique to that individual weapon. They of course also gain access to drop items from enemies that aren't available to normal people, which include the things you'd expect, such as weapons, armor, monster parts, and crafting materials. Such materials can be stored within the weapon's inventory and can be used to automatically craft other items at a later time. Having these weapons in their possession, they have the ability to bypass things such as level caps, and the wielder is not restricted by needing to class up. The heroes are also unaffected by control curses such as the slave seal. Of course, in terms of the waves, they have teleportation, in which the hero and their party are summoned close to the location of the waves when they spawn. Another ability that is super useful is the translate ability, in which verbal language is automatically translated to their own and theirs translated to whomever they are speaking to. Unfortunately, written language isn't translated. They do of course come with their downsides. The wielder cannot pair the legendary weapon with any other weapon that is not of the same class, as we saw when Naofumi tried to wield a sword when he first went to the weapon store. They also thwart the growth of other legendary weapons when in the presence of one another, meaning that the legendary heroes can't farm experience together and must level up separately. The weapon can also not be removed from the wielder's body, as we saw when Naofumi was trying to ditch his shield. The final ability of the legendary weapons is the one that is tied to the user's emotions, the strongest negative ones caused by things such as trauma, pain, and so on. This ability is of course the Curse series. The Curse series gift the heroes insanely powerful stat boosts, effects, and new abilities, but does come at a great cost. Now, I really want to make a separate video going into the Curse series, so make sure you like this video if you want to see that next. And lastly, just to mention, there are other abilities that these weapons possess, but that is independent on what world they are from. As an example, Raphtalia's world's abilities differ from that of Glass's world, but again, future videos, my friends. And there we go, that was the legendary heroes explained from the Rising of the Shield Hero. Don't forget to smash the like button if you would like to see more Shield Hero videos just like this one. Remember, 1,000 likes and we'll go into more from the series, and as well as that, make sure to let me know in the comments what Shield Hero videos you would like to see. I've got plenty in mind, but I'm interested to see what you guys want. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. There is plenty more content like this in the works, and not just for Shield Hero, so make sure you do not miss what's to come. Huge shout out to Warwick and Animator22 for supporting me on Patreon. Don't forget to head on over there yourself to check out the amazing rewards, including a super special awesome exclusive series for Patreons only, as well as a ton of other amazing rewards. Till next time, my fellow weebs, peace!